Well, hello, my beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your monthly reading for September. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. And let's just say, hold on to your hats because astrologically, we have a lot going on. This is a very unique month. Eclipse season is upon us, so things may get a little bit wild. Not one, but two eclipses occur this month. Plus, we also have a second new moon, often called a black moon, and that will occur in the sign of Virgo, a Virgo portal, if you will, which is also very unusual. But it also coincides with a partial solar eclipse. I mean, of course it does. Why wouldn't it? There's so much going on. So let us unpack this. There seems to be more and more going on these days than ever before. But eclipses, they tend to disrupt the natural order of things and are often perceived as harbingers of change, offering you pivotal opportunities to contemplate radically new directions, hatch new plans, set new goals, or make new promises to yourself and really keep those promises too. Now, partnered with the fact that we've officially moved into the sign of Virgo, consider September a bit of a quality control month where you cast a meticulous eye over your life, refine or even redefine plans with a very sharp mind, spotting anything that does not meet your expectations, because holding yourself to higher standards is what it's all about. Decluttering, reorganizing, methodically completing complex tasks whilst making space for hard-earned rewards, plus also scheduling in some quirky fun times. Also, you may even find yourself quenching a thirst for knowledge, which may see you scrolling or enrolling, especially since your third house is influencing you during this month, and that could be on workshops, classes, forums, or learning new skills. Oh, and also you'll be staying on top of your health goals too. I mean, I know that's a lot, but Virgo energy tends to ask us to look at the bigger picture and also at the details all at the same time. So this month could leave you absolutely exhilarated, but also needing a well-earned massage on a secluded beach with an iced beverage of choice and your do not disturb sign on. I mean, if only, but at least you'll be very proud of yourself that you are going to be super productive this month and have a lot ticked off your to-do list, awarding you with a sense of achievement. Now, back to those eclipses because they are important this month. We have a full blood moon eclipse occurring on the 7th or the 8th, depending on your time zone. And full moons, they offer closure, forgiveness, an opportunity to really let go and release. But partnered with an eclipse, you may just slam that door to the past, lock it, and throw away the key, because emotions, they tend to run a little bit high, and you may feel a little bit more sensitive than usual. I can see there that it will affect you quite heavily, especially since your ninth house is influencing you at the end of the month, and that's where you will do the shadow work, of course. So your body and your soul knows what you finally need to let go of, and you owe it to yourself to really set yourself free. So the blood moon encourages you to do that shadow work, to really assess, deep dive, release any challenging emotions. And if you felt like you've been drifting over the last couple of years or months, even though you've got goals and dreams and things that you're aiming for, sometimes you can feel like you're on autopilot. This is a big problem-solving influence month from that Virgonian energy, and it really help you remain structured. I was going to say get structured, but you tend to be pretty structured already, my beautiful Capricorn. So I would say remain structured and also remain on track for you as well. Now be mindful, because eclipses can amplify anxiety or give a platform to your inner critic, and you tend to be a little bit more critical on yourself than most. So just watch that. Remember that this too shall pass. So be compassionate with your wonderful self. It's because you strive for higher standards. So you may critique yourself a little bit more than others. Now also, animals tend to become a little bit anxious or unsettled during these eclipses too. We all feel the effects, so extra cuddles for pets will also be important as well there. And what's wonderful about this particular lunar eclipse, because of course eclipses are not all bad, this one actually trines Jupiter. Trines are amazing, and Jupiter, of course, is the planet of good luck, expansion, and better opportunities. So expect positive results or outcomes on things you've been working hard for or invested your time in. And of course, Saturn returns to the sign of Pisces. Now, Saturn is currently retrograding, so it just retrogrades back into Pisces this month. So you may revisit and breathe new life into old projects, return to anything that you shelved or been meaning to return to, and also karmically, any unresolved issues are reviewed, but this time with a problem-solving influence to purify and start with a clean slate. So if you want to change your life in any shape or form, this is a big month to lead positively with intention, as manifestation frequencies are higher than usual. Now we also have a partial solar eclipse, and that occurs on the 21st or the 22nd, depending on which hemisphere you reside in. It also coincides with that black new moon in Virgo. Now I have to give you this one straight, because this eclipse does not play nice. It's not as positive as the last one, so that doesn't mean necessarily that it's bad. However, it may raise some tensions collectively, which is why structure will be the key to managing September. So expect things like plot twists, someone canceling on you, letting you down, maybe something being rescheduled, or something coming in last minute that you have to really deal with quite quickly. So that's the sort of energy I'm talking about at the end of the month there for you. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, but September is a pivotal shift month. We may witness an economical wobble, which harvests very serious conversations around global bankruptcy and also draconian ways to replenish governmental purses. And as I mentioned before, eclipses are harbingers of change, and these particular eclipses will really steal the show. Now, in ancient times, a blood moon eclipse symbolized the fall of a king, a leader, or someone of great influence. Okay, so we may see headlining news around someone either stepping down or, leaving a position or being let go, as it were. And even their substitute or body double is what I was given as well by my guide. So whatever that means, if it makes sense, let's see. We'll keep an eye on that. And we will certainly continue to see shocking exposés centered around public figures during this time, as their hidden dark side continues to come to light, questioning their position of influence, okay? Now, solar eclipses in particular were often interpreted as causing anger, conflict, and uprising. So we may see growing tensions rise globally as people seek to be heard and represented fairly. Eclipses also tend to affect nature in very extreme ways, and we're already witnessing amplified shifts. This month could actually see things reach a critical point where we could see fiery seismic shifts amplifying water-related events. And as these eclipses occur in both the sign of Pisces, water, and Virgo, earth, I feel those elements will be mainly affected there as well. Now, we may also see conversations directed at shaking up the healthcare systems and implementing new protocols, which of course will be super positive, and critical debates around unemployment and the advancement of AI or replacement technology will hit the headlines from now for the next couple of years, because we'll be highlighting what a future could look like if technology becomes more celebrated than human talent. Now, we're at a critical fork in the road, okay? So it's not all doom and gloom. This is about highlighting a path that can be changed. So it is something that people will start to look at and really dissect and really kind of see if technology can coexist or complement what we have to offer rather than replace human talent. So, we're going to see a lot of that. And of course, there's so many levels to energy and life. There's worldly energies, there's personal energies, and of course, on a personal note, K2 is in the sign of Leo, which is going to work really hard to see you receive recognition and gain for past efforts. And remember, Jupiter is cheerleading for you on the sidelines, sending extra luck, willing you to win, and sending extra benevolence until it retrogrades on the 11th of November. So whilst it may seem like it's all falling apart right now, it is here that things fall together and come back stronger. And this is a perfect month to refine or even introduce rituals where you raise vibrations, because that Virgonian frequency encourages us all to be in service. Firstly, to yourself, then, of course, to those that you hold dear, and then the world at large. We can all do our bit to either send or spread love and positivity. And I always say, wherever you may be the soul of that place. Shine your light, be present. It starts with the self first and it emanates outwards. So light a candle, play your favorite song, raise those vibrations, really connect with nature as well, because we are all one, and those who seek to divide shall not succeed. Okay, now looking at your energy, I feel like you're being super positive. I feel, even though you've been under a lot of pressure recently, I feel a lot of you are looking at, where you've been under stress. You're trying to protect yourself with that energy, really identifying it, shining a light on it. But I'm actually seeing in the water right now a GPS system for you. So this can symbolically mean that you're focused on your direction, the path that you take to where you want to be. Okay, so this can be that you're looking at your route in life. You have an idea of where you want to go. Your first card there is Beginnings East. So some of you could be hatching new plans at this time. This is a card of really elevating, trying new things. This is also an energy which is number 3, connects to the Empress. So that means you're working really hard on something, nurturing something to term, but looking at new avenues, and a new dawn is breaking for you. So I would say that, the light at the end of the tunnel, if you've been struggling on something, is really starting to shine for you. This is about letting go of the old and embracing the new, of course, and that can be cathartically. This can be a very spiritual month for you, or a very kind of philosophical month for you, where you redefine who you are, what you stand for, or maybe just reinforce what it is that you have as a life philosophy, because your 9th house is influencing you. So this is about you asking those bigger philosophical questions, trying to be in the flow, and kind of flowing forward without heaviness or anxiety, because there's a lot of that going on at this moment in time. But I would say here that this is a portal of opportunity for you to elevate. Of course, cathartically, you will let go of some very challenging emotions, because the 9th house is asking you to process. This is when you sort of ask, what's it all about? What do I believe in? What's my direction? What do I really want in my life? What is the missing ingredient? And because we have beginnings there, of course, that can connect to, it's a brand new month, and you're so excited to embrace this possibility and potential because you're so over August there. But I feel it's more than that. I feel this is about new ideas, especially new money making ideas, because you have that 3rd house, This could be if you're in business, for example, I mean, because you have an Eight of Pentacles, which is you working really hard for your finances, sticking to some sort of routine or structure or a repetitive cycle that brings in the finances. But you may be thinking about something else to elevate. You know, you may feel like you've hit a bit of a plateau. You have returned to work, for example, for some of you, if you've been on a vacation. But, you know, even if you haven't been on a vacation, I feel like you're at a certain level where you're wanting to reach for more. You're having that gear shift this month, and more you shall have is what I see there. Because I feel with that Six of Cups, you return to happier times is what I'm seeing. But if you really think about the nature of a rocking horse, this can indicate that, you know, you've been back and forth on something, and you're building something for your future. And you don't mind being back and forth on something, whether it's information or whether it's a project, as long as you feel like you're making your impact or you're making a difference or there is progress. And I can see a lot of progress here for you as well, okay? But the beginnings energy, this could be that some of you are envisaging like a new environment, a new project, a new life. You're looking for new things. This could even be that you're trying to find out new ways of exploring your neighborhood or, you know, checking out new events, for example, because beginnings, of course, this can indicate that you're also searching for something that you haven't found yet. This could be like a service provider. This could be like a promotion, for example. Whatever it is for you, I feel like you're going to discover it because this is a great card that means, you know, new ways of being are calling to you right now. So you could be, you know, erecting healthier boundaries or new boundaries there. You could be, you know, speaking your truth without filter to someone during this month. And, you know, I feel like you're always very honest and authentic in your conversations anyway, but this could be that, you know, you're not resisting what you need to say at this moment in time. You're laying it out there for everyone to kind of like not misunderstand you. That's what's coming out there as well. But east, I mean, some of you could literally be traveling east, of course, but this basically means new projects, launching new things, being excited about something and trying not to bring a heaviness with you, because even the heaviness card is in the resistance position. You're like, you don't want to connect to anything negative. You don't want to see any clickbait. You don't want to connect to anything that breaks your stride or, you know, makes you feel low vibe. Let's put it that way. I feel like you are removing yourself from situations and people that dull your shine. And shine is exactly what you are going to do. I mean, the Strength card, it takes a lot of energy and courage to embrace a new way of doing something. So some of you could be breaking an old habit or reinforcing a boundary with a person and saying, I'm not enabling this anymore. But that, you know, very strong lion there, you know, the lion is just existing and has a lot of power. Just says, I know myself, I know my truth, and I walk tall. And I feel that's something that you're embracing September with there as well. The Strength card will remind you that power comes from within, and a lot of you could be moving in silence, you know. You could be working on projects under the radar, going off grid, trying to protect your inner peace, to not have any distractions this month. I feel like you're super organized and structured, but you're locked onto something that is a new beginning for you. So for some of you, it could be that you're relocating. You know, it could be that you are going back and forth on some plans or contracts in order to, you know, finally complete on property if you're relocating. Or it could be that, you know, you have a contract that you're going back and forth on, or maybe even a conversation with a person and you are facing it head on and standing up for yourself on something and saying, actually, no, this is how I feel, okay? I feel this is an energy of you knowing who you are and kind of like being strong with that. When you have the Strength card there, that means that you have infinite resources. I mean, literally unlimited energy in order to move forward. You have a lot of self-respect. You have self-love. And also there's this energy of being in command. You're building something, so you're having the courage of heart to go after something. But because there's something new here, I feel like sometimes, you know, we feel a little bit nervous. You've got a Five of Cups here. You know, a lot of you are asking, why is it so hard? Okay, because that can be a card of it's really tough right now. For some of you, maybe there's an energy of walking away from something, or you felt disappointed from something, but you're onto something better is what I'm seeing if you've gone through a recent disappointment. Now, The Five of Cups is an energy of kind of removing yourself from situations. That's what I'm getting from this particular card. So it can be that something isn't hitting right, or it doesn't feel the same way. So you could literally be decluttering your life, as it were. You could be breaking free from maybe a food substance that is making you feel lethargic. It could be a habit that you perhaps have been promising yourself to remove from your life for some time. You know, this is about releasing, letting something go. And I feel your month is really big about releasing. And your third house is there. So some of you, it could be that this is about how you communicate your needs from a healthy space. And when we communicate our needs, or we erect healthier boundaries, we certainly learn who is our friend, who honors our time, who is walking with us, or who says, you've changed and I don't like it. You're like, no, I am just reinforcing who I am. This is how I want to conduct myself. And then people have an expectation over you, and it's like, who is filling those seats when you erect those healthier boundaries? Or who is walking by your side when you are a tower of power or being really successful in your life? I mean, even success changes people. And what I mean by that is, when you are very successful, my beautiful Capricorn, walking tall and working hard for all the things that you want to accomplish, because that's what's happening for you this month, people will look at you differently, okay? They see that you are a force to be reckoned with. And there's an energy here. Sometimes people will back away from that. You know, there is a very famous saying, it's lonely at the top. And that's because some people feel that they can't reach the amount of fame or the amount of talent or the amount of success that you're reaching for at this time. And that's okay. It means that maybe later on they will reach that. You have your path and they have theirs. But sometimes people kind of like phase themselves out of your life because they notice that you are very successful, and it reminds them of how they are not doing so well. But actually, you know, they don't see how much effort it takes to run your life, okay? So for some of you, you may actually have a very strong conversation with a person where you kind of like tell them your truth, how you work so hard and go that extra mile that other people don't do in order to live your life. So there may be a very important conversation where you correct someone or you tell them how it really is. And this person at first is going to feel very kind of sensitive, shall we say, about this conversation, but actually I feel like in what you say gives them some advice, and this person returns, okay? This person, it's like they see the pressure that you're on and they respect you for it. So at first they may see that you got lucky on something, because I feel there's something going on this month where you will celebrate, and it's like it transforms your life. The vision of what you see for your future, there's good news coming in attached to that. And there seems to be a person who kind of returns to you in some way and says, oh my gosh, you did it. And I really respect that you stood your ground on something, or that you were strong enough to make this happen. And I see now that you work really hard for what you accomplish. And it's not just you being in the right place at the right time, although the universe is making sure that you will be in the right place at the right time, because we have these cards. Very important. These are two major arcana cards. In fact, you have a lot of major arcanas. You have that strength card there. You have the magician and the justice. So whatever it is you're manifesting, there is a law of karma that is coming here. So something that perhaps you're worried about, that you thought wouldn't happen for you or was delayed, I feel suddenly it starts to flourish or thrive, or it starts to move forward for you. And for a lot of you, this could be connected to contracts, okay, or paperwork. So I'm seeing some sort of good news regarding that. It's something you've been manifesting, something that perhaps you've been keeping quiet, close to your chest, because I actually see this as you keeping a secret or keeping like some sort of measure of success to yourself, because you are aware that perhaps other people may judge you on your success in some way. I mean, there's literally 5 chairs there and one person sitting in the center, and this is your protagonist energy. So it could be that you are literally removing yourself from the busyness of other people and their opinions, because you're about to do something really bold and daring, and you need to have like some quiet time, or you need intense focus is what I'm seeing. So it could be that you're doing something very, very new to you, and you need to find out about the legalities of it, because we have that Justice card energy there. So you could be looking at some sort of structure regarding something that you're building, and it's like, you don't want to tell anyone about it because you don't want to jinx it, if that makes sense, okay? But it's going to be so exciting. You will literally cry tears of joy, or you will literally celebrate, and people, especially your nearest and dearest, when you tell them about this good news, they will be so happy for you. That's what I'm seeing there, okay? I mean, this card, it says passion, the soul. So it's something that you are excited about, something that you're following in terms of your passion. There may be some moments of doubt, but it's in the resistance position. So I feel this is about, you know, moving forward, feeling fear, doing it anyway, whatever this is. Nothing is going to stop you from this success, okay? I feel like you've got this idea. I feel like you're nourishing it, whatever it is, or you have a certain path or direction that you feel called to take at this time. And you have so much strength to lead with passion and get to where you want to go. Five of Cups, it may require some sort of change or adjustment. And, you know, sometimes we have to acknowledge what we leave behind and what we are set to gain. So, for example, success, there's change that comes with success. So for example, you may get a really great deal, but it means you traveling abroad or living abroad, or it may mean that you have to travel further afield. For some of you, it could change your friendships or relationships. So I feel this card is like, you have to kind of like sacrifice something, okay? So I also feel this is about you sacrificing time or company, for example. Like if you're invited to something, you may be like, I really want to go to that, but actually I've really got this deadline, or I've got something important. It feels like you sacrifice something in order to win in some other area of your life, okay? That's something that's coming through there. We got 10 of Wands. You got a lot on your to-do list, a lot on your plate there. So I feel this is you kind of removing yourself to really think about what's going on in your life and what you want to achieve there. But I feel like you're highly productive during this period, and that's why you're being structured and serious and disciplined, and removing yourself from distractions is what I see there, okay? Now, Five of Cups can also indicate, you know, no one said it was going to be easy. You know that whatever it is you're doing is hard. There's a lot of pressure there, but the pressure comes from the fact that you care. It is your passion, whatever it is. It's literally going to change your life, and you're going to be on top of things. But of course, you have many things on your to-do list there, which I feel like you're so close to completion on something, because this basically means you're starting something that you mean to finish, because the 10 of Wands is like, you know, completing tasks to a high degree. You're going to be ticking a lot of things off your to-do list. For some of you, it could be that you're trying to get everything done ahead of time because you have a quick trip booked, or maybe this is an intention because your third house and your ninth house can see you like taking some time away, some foreign travel, for example, a little bit further afield. But the 10 of Wands indicates a lot of you are exhausted, okay? So it can be that you're running a little bit on empty, but because you're passionate about what you do, you kind of don't mind, because you can see some sort of like end point in sight, or some sort of, you know what I'm seeing, like a finish line with a ribbon, like you're running and you're like, I made it, you know, and you've crossed the finish line. And because I see the ribbon there, it means you're first, or you, like, for example, if you're bidding on something, it can be that you're first, or if you're competing in something, you know, you gain first prize or pole position. That's what I'm seeing there, okay? Now, I mean, the Five of Cups can also be that for some of you, you're trying to manage some sort of disappointment. I've got to honor it. It just feels like some of you may be coming off the back of August feeling a little bit low vibe, or feeling a little bit disheartened on something, you know, and needing to remove yourself to really think about what's next. And we have East beginnings, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, but I feel some of you could be rebuilding, or you could be starting something new this month because you've had some sort of change in direction there. Sometimes you have to acknowledge that the universe will remove a certain path because there's something better opening up for you that you may not be able to see right now. I feel this is a great month to follow your passions, and even though it is challenging, I feel there's an energy here of kind of like appreciating the moment that you have the power to move forward and overcome any obstacle. And these two cards is like you return to a project that you're building, or you return to building something that is going to be exciting. I mean, a lot of you will be replenishing your finances this month. You're staying on top of your bills. You'll be sticking to like a financial strategy that you're being quite strict on. I also feel with that Six of Cups, there's an energy of nostalgia, especially since I see like a GPS system. You're going to look back on kind of like the end of September. You're going to look back and think how far you've come, because there is this monumental celebratory energy where you have a breakthrough on something and it feels like you've come a long way. You got to this point and you're like, I did it. I did it. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like there's more to go. I feel like you're at some sort of milestone energy, okay? That's how I feel like you're leading this month. Now, in terms of practical things, I feel you may be looking at like new beginnings on things like contracts, service providers. You know, your third house is there. So some of you could get some new equipment or tools, you know, upgrades on cell phones, upgrades on like cars, for example, or just be upgrading your life in some way. Third house is all about technology. It can be about your thoughts as well. So you're trying to quieten the inner critic, take command over your thoughts. But you know, this could also be about social activities, learning more about what you do, connecting to people online, or even downloading apps that help you educate yourself or advance in some sort of tool or technology, you know, early learning kind of education there as well. You could be learning how to do something new during this time, and perhaps this is you finishing first on something or getting a qualification. Maybe you're the first in your family to do something like whatever it is that you're doing right now, and this is why everybody comes together to celebrate you, because that's something I've got coming through there very strongly. Now, in the resistance position, we have the dark moon there. It's number 7, and this is about mood, okay? This is an energy of there is a cycle to everything. There's a reason and a season for everything. Do not push yourself when you feel that the energy is against you. This is about, you know, adapting, trying to remain balanced and harmonious. Don't feel forced into a decision. If you're signing a contract, if anyone tries to pressure you into anything, you know, that always means they benefit more than you do, or they don't want you to see something, because we have the darkness energy there. But, you know, you're the sort of person, you've got all the facts. You'll see everything you need to see there. It's interesting that we have the darkness in the reverse. So I feel like this is about you kind of acknowledging that there can be doubt and there can be fear in whatever, and there can be sadness about things not going exactly the way you planned on something. But at the same time, when you realize how things go better for you, or things work out really well for you, you realize why the other path was blocked for you, or the door was locked. Sometimes a locked door doesn't mean not never, it means just not now, so that you can take a rest, or, you know, kind of envisage a new path, or discover a new way of doing something, so that you can actually gather more information, or gather new friends, or new acquaintances, or contacts. There may be like alternative information on like a bit of a plot twist for you this month. But what I see is you're maintaining and sustaining, but there is some sort of win here that makes you feel a little bit emotional, okay? Now, this is going to be a highly sensitive month for you in general. I feel there is this trip down memory lane going on for you. This may be the 9th house making you feel like, you know, you need to look back nostalgically at your past. It may trigger some memories of people, of situations, both happy and sad, because you have, you know, this darkness moon right in the center of your energy. So I would say just be a little bit mindful that this too shall pass. But, you know, we spend time in the past to see if we are triggered when we remember certain things. And I feel like this could be you conquering something that has haunted you from your past, whether it was a separation, whether it was, you know, something that didn't go the way you'd hoped for. I see you conquering something, you're overcoming something, and that makes you like release a lot of pressure and feel really free in your energy. It often feels like you've gone back and forth on this, but now you're moving forward and you're not looking back, whatever this is, okay? But I definitely see you leading working on something, you're building something here. And of course, there's always this like doubt of what could go wrong, but actually your outcome says none of those things, those fears will, come to fruition. Everything will go in your favor the way you're hoping for. But I feel like you have a healthy kind of balance between your determination and your strategy and your action, because this is a card of action. And also, the Five of Cups can indicate that you're aware of, you kind of moving forward for something that is bigger that you've been envisaging for your future. And, there's an energy of being fearless, recognizing that, yeah, of course, there can be an ebb and flow of emotion with the Five of Cups. It's like, don't focus on what could go wrong. Focus more on what you're set to gain. That's what I feel from your whole energy for this month, because I feel like you're set to gain a lot, okay? Now, we do have the Magician. So the Magician card is a lot of possibilities. This is a potent energy of you creating something. You're powerfully manifesting something. You're forging your reality. Remember, thoughts become things, of course. So I feel this is you trying to be more positive. But also, the Magician energy is kind of like you utilizing skills or gaining like new knowledge in order to make things happen. So I feel there's this energy of like action. You're making life happen for you. You're not just sitting back and kind of like allowing it to control you, as it were. But also, I feel this is an energy of, for some of you, it's like you may have been feeling unfulfilled in some area of your life, and you're like having the courage to admit what is no longer working for you, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a neighborhood, whether it is a way of doing something, or even tools because of your third house. It could be like, perhaps you've had a laptop that has run its course and you're like, oh, I really love that laptop, but it keeps freezing on me, or, it's glitching in some way, like my camera, which keeps glitching recently. So it can be that you're admitting to yourself, oh, I don't really want to have to spend the money on this, or I don't really want to, get rid of my laptop. But it could be that you decide to repair something instead of replace it, for example. Some of you are actually going to try and repair it yourself, but that's if you're knowledgeable enough to do so. But I feel like on a practical level, the Magician card is about your energy levels, but it's also about divine intervention. When your thoughts suddenly become things, you may think, wow, that was a miracle. But actually, it tells you about the power of your mind and how you can envisage your path and make it happen. You're in control. You are the co-creator. And I feel this is about, your beliefs and your ideas and your personal power and being flexible in navigating the month through the pitfalls of doubt, or because I feel I got to give it to you straight. There may be like a minor disappointment if you have not experienced a minor disappointment yet, okay? Because it is in your protagonist energy, which the majority of you may have already had that because you're coming into the month with that. But it can also be an energy of like, what if it goes wrong? Or what if I don't reach the final, end product on something? But you will, is what I see there. But there may be like a minor disappointment where you get to course correct, or it works out better because of that minor disappointment, if that makes sense. So if something that you pay for example, doesn't show up the way you want it to, it can be that you get a upgraded version of it or a better version of it. And then you're like, do I keep that or do I send it back and get the other one? You may have to make a major decision regarding this. But I feel there's this energy of turning a disappointment around. So a lot of you, if you have been exhausted or feeling like something hasn't been working for you, this is the month where suddenly the gear shift happens and everything is on course. Everything feels like it's going better than usual, if that makes sense. Now, coming back to this practical level energy, I do feel a lot of you are focused on administrative tasks like corresponding to people, signing contracts. You may be looking at rolling contracts as well. Maybe some of you are connected to a service that you feel is not being given to a high standard and you're really disappointed. You may feel like ditching that contract. Protect yourself because you may have like a cooling off period, or you may have to let the contract run its course before you get like a new service provider, for example. So it can be that if you're wanting to get rid of a company who has not been pulling their weight, you may contest this And you may win to a certain degree is what I see there, but there may be like a cancellation fee or something that disappoints you. For example, you feel, oh, well, I'm either going to miss out on this really good deal on this new thing over here, or I have to pay like a minor forfeit, or I have to forfeit something over here in order to get the good thing. Because I feel there's an exchange here for you. And I hate to give it to you like that, but that's something that's coming through. So some of you may be trying to for example, move into a new job. A lot of you are returning to an industry or returning to a way of working that you used to love, okay? So if you're currently out of work and you're wondering, is there an opportunity coming on in? The answer is yes. A lot of you may have this sense of duality where you are thinking about being your own boss, and it may complement what you're doing already. But if you're currently searching for a role where you work for a company or you partner up with somebody in particular, an entity, I feel like there is an opportunity coming on in. Six of Cups, I feel like you go for a second interview on this, and I feel it's very much a standalone position is what I'm seeing there. I feel like, you work really hard in this and you will staircase quite quickly. You're going to build a really strong reputation for yourself in this role. If you're already in a job, some of you may be deciding to leave that position. You may have, lost that loving feeling. You may have once really loved this role, and maybe you still actually love the role, but you just don't like the people. Perhaps you feel like you don't gel there. Maybe they are trying to micromanage you or tell you something that you already know, because you seem to be very strong in the position. With the strength position, the lion is the leader. So this could be that, even if you manage a group of people, you may feel singled out in some way, micromanaged, or you may feel like you just don't gel with these people, or they see you in a way that just makes you feel like you're isolated or alone in some way. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. But if you're putting your resume out there for new opportunities, I definitely see one coming up that's going to make you so emotionally excited, okay? And again, it feels like that there's a nice amount of money there. A lot of you are developing new skills in order to upgrade your pay grade, as it were. And I definitely see you embracing a new role that, again, feels very much like it is a standalone position. Remember, I just keep getting this energy. It's lonely at the top, because you are going to be hitting the top of your industry, and that requires you to have focus. And sometimes it means sacrificing time or events, not the important ones with family, of course, but it can be that you've had to sacrifice certain time with people because this is really important to you, whatever this is. So if you are putting your resume out for new opportunities, but you're currently in a role already, you may find one. I definitely see one coming on in here. And you're going to love returning to this because it feels like something fun, okay? Maybe it's also something that you've been dreaming about doing since you were younger, and now you're having the courage to really go into that kind of genre or sector, whatever it is. But there may be some sort of clause in the contract. Maybe you have gardening leave. I'm not really sure what companies would have that, but my guys are giving me that at this time. Or it could be that you have to forfeit, like, I don't know, some time because you're about to enter the new job quite quickly is what I see there. So you may have to leave quite quickly in order to get the new role. So there's a sacrifice element. Five of Cups is letting go of something in order to embrace something better. And often the Five of Cups can be that you can't see that something better is about to be offered to you. It can be that, things are challenging or disappointing right now, or you feel there's a missing ingredient, but the universe is stepping in to offer you something that you've been manifesting. So it can be that, there is a law where, destiny and fate intervene to transform your life this month. There's going to be a lot of synchronicities, a lot of meaningful coincidences there for you as you align with prosperity. I also feel with the Justice in the resistance position, for some of you in the working environment, no matter what you do, even if you work for yourself, I feel like there could be like an unusually unfair amount of work for you to do. I feel like you are like overwhelmed. That Ten of Wands came out for a reason. It feels like there's a lot building up right now, but I actually feel like you get into a flow where you're on top of things. You take down a lot of your workload this month, so you can be a little bit more freer in future months is what I'm seeing there. Also, be a little bit mindful, okay? because these cards can indicate that someone tells you something because they're in the resistance position at first. They may tell you something that perhaps is not quite true. Okay, the truth will out. The truth will always out. But you may be a little bit disappointed because this person thought that they could be a little bit loose with the truth. I mean, the Magician card in the resistance position is a little bit sleight of hand. Okay, rather than a magician who creates magic and it's exciting, as above, so below. But when you have it in the reverse, it can be that someone either tries to catch your attention over here so you don't see what they're doing over there. So for example, you know, if you run your own business and you're a boss, it could be that perhaps someone is like leaving early because they feel like they cannot be detected, for example. And you may spot this person and feel really disappointed that they just didn't come to you and say, look, you know, can we talk about hours? You're just like slipping off into the night and like not doing the job and everything is building up. So you may call someone out, okay? And I'm just giving you that as an example. For some of you, it could be that you're confronting someone on being a little bit like loose with the truth, because this can be a card of dishonesty in the reverse position. And also it can be a card, especially if you're going through a legal kind of court case. There could be an unfairness there where someone tries to basically play dirty. Let's put it that way, okay? But I feel the truth will out, and actually, you know, you will prevail because you are leading with integrity. Eights are very positive. It means things are going to develop in unexpected ways. You get a greater understanding, and basically you apply what you know in the situation in order to come out on top. But, you know, removing all of those aspects, because of course not everybody's going through a court case, you know, I feel like there will be a lot of back and forth going on. Structure is the key. Get all your data, documents, proof in order, because, you know, also I'm being given, there may be something that is left out as well, or something that is not allowed. But even though you proceed with integrity, you're still leading and you're still going to win, is what I'm seeing there, because this is a win-win situation. It will go into the upright, okay? Now, coming away from the energy, this is a month where you're following your passions, okay? This is a card of seeing your future, seeing your world transform. And a lot of you may have been lamenting that. You may have noticed friendships, you know, evolving, because this is a card where you're feeling a little bit like out there on a limb, doing your own thing. So even though you have kind of time where you have to do what you do alone because, you know, you're really busy doing what you got to do, but at the same time, I feel you may be noticing friendships. There may be one person in particular that you feel like you're detaching from, and this makes you feel really sad. There is a lament there. You know, you're outgrowing a person or a situation, and I feel like you may grieve that relationship, okay? And if you are currently doing that already, I feel like actually there's an energy of nostalgia, but also I feel like you're rebuilding, and you will actually move into a position to meet new people, your soul tribe, people who get you. When you're going through an awakening, often that is a very lonely process. And some of you have been going through an awakening for a couple of years now, maybe even longer. And it can be that you're just noticing things that other people just don't notice. And this can be that, you know, there starts to be a detachment in friendships. And of course, you know, there is this energy of like acknowledging that you're maturing, and therefore, you know, some people or situations cannot have a place on your onward path. And that can be a little bit discombobulating at first, but I feel like this is a big soul-searching month. And it is a karmic slate month where basically we let go of things or people that have run their course in our life. And you're going to really connect to that with your ninth house, okay? I had to mention it there. And some of you, there is an important time during this month where you may honor someone's memory. Remembrance energy is coming out there. And I want you to be aware, yes, I'm being given this energy of like it wasn't fair or it's not fair. Okay. This person is going to send you something that reminds you of when they were on this earthly plane. Firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, because these cards can highlight grieving, that, you know, you've been going through a period of grief. And that's only if you've just come to this reading and you've been going through that, because, you know, this is something you're coming into the month with. And this is like how you're leaving it. So it means, you know, there can be happy and sad memories. This can be like you cathartically releasing some emotions or something that has been building up or something that you've been protecting. And it can be that, you know, this person is going to send you a memory or send you something that reminds you of them. I mean, it can literally be a butterfly, but I feel it's more than that. I feel it's very specific. So ask for a specific sign, you're going to get it. It is a very personal memory that only you and them share. And not only is the memory going to come to you, but also you're going to witness or see something that triggers it. So for example, if your memory with a person is like a pink elephant, you're literally going to see a pink elephant. You know, it could be a logo sign. You know, you're really going to get that sign. And that is the person saying, I'm with you. I walk with you. You're never alone. Okay. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy and move on. But I feel for some of you, if you have been going through a separation as well or a divorce, yeah, I feel this is an energy of you kind of like wondering, where did the feelings go? Why does everything feel so detached? You know, there may have been a period where you had to deal with the legalities and the structure of it all and you felt really numb. This is a month where you're going to be super sensitive and you may actually, you know, release some of those pent up emotions. Sometimes when it's super hard, no matter what you're going through, you know, there's days where you just like cry, you know, and I know myself when I have a good old cry, I mean, it doesn't really make the situation better, but it releases the pressure and actually it clears the pent up frustration and it actually helps the brain as well recalibrate so you can see things clearer, you know, when you take a step away from that release. So I feel a lot of you could find an alternative way of doing something after a period of being like extra emotional about it there as well. Now this is number 14. I'm just being given major positive vibes from this card, which is like something you've been waiting for a very long time. It comes through for you. So if you have applied for something, you've been waiting for something, and you even may have thought that you didn't get it or that it hasn't gone your way or that you've had to let it go because you feel like, well, it's not going to work. It's not happening. You know, I really feel suddenly it comes in for you and, you know, what you've been desiring or working hard to accomplish, there is some sort of milestone here where you can see it actually starting to formulate or become the plan. It's like it's in action, it's in motion, it's becoming real for you at this time. Number 14, of course, is passion. It's like, what is that spark? What is it that lights you up in this world? What is it that you consider, you know, your motivations? And it can be that you're looking at where there is resistance or you're looking at perhaps having more than one purpose in life. And it can be that, you know, that passion for what you do, it kind of like makes you feel more alive. But also, it's hard. When you really care about something, it's extra hard, okay? Because you're going to be extra critical, especially during this Virgonian season. But this is an energy of you leading with passion. It's about you living a purposeful life, okay? And that's why I probably saw like a GPS energy there where it's like, what is your purpose? What are you moving towards? How does it feel? Are you making an impact? Well, the answer is yes. And there's something here that you will kind of like cry tears of joy with in the month of September. And it feels very much like you did it, okay? Now we have a Six of Cups energy. Six of Cups is actually divine intervention. Of course, there are connotations connected to nostalgia with this card, but you know, this card is an energy of the universe stepping in to kind of like offer you. It's like a period of calm reflection, thinking about how far you've come, but also, you know, the possibility to win, the possibility to open yourself up to something that you've been wanting for a long time. Now, I'm getting lots of things here. I feel like something is gifted to you as an offer or a message that brings peace. You know, obviously, I'm also getting like friendship energy as well. So you may feel a little bit more sociable than usual. Well, your third house is making you a little bit more sociable, so you may actually connect with a friend that you haven't seen for a long time, or there's someone here who has been thinking about you but didn't know how to reach out, where they're going to find a way to reach out. And I feel it's a really happy reunion. Now, some of you not all of you, you may actually hear from an ex during this month, and it may actually raise some feelings. Someone who perhaps you separated from, perhaps you had to get closure on that situation yourself, because perhaps for some of you, you know, Five of Cups can be that you were ghosted by somebody and they try to re-enter your life. You're really protecting yourself from this person. You know, if anyone ever makes you an option, I feel like that's you needing to walk away. You're the choice. You know, this is a card that says, you know, you are a leader. You're not someone sitting on the sidelines waiting to be picked. So if someone has ghosted you in the past, I certainly see that you are not looking back in their direction. You're looking forward only. But you may hear from someone, or they may try to re-enter your life. And I feel this person, just be a little bit wary of anyone trying to come back into your life, because I feel like they're trying to see what they can get away with. I feel like they're trying to like test your boundaries, let's put it that way. So just be a little bit mindful. If you're searching for love, you know, this reading isn't really about love this month. Doesn't mean that you're not going to, you know, find love. I feel some of you could actually find out that someone from your past actually had a crush on you or still has a crush on you. If there is any reunion, some of you may be actually invited to a reunion this month. I feel there's someone there who's harbored a crush on you for a very, very long time, but they always saw that you like saw past them. It's like you may have kind of had a little bit of feeling for them, but it never kind of like happened. It was like ships in the night, but they actually viewed you as someone who was out of their league, and they may tell you how they feel. This person may actually also have been going through a divorce recently, so just be a little bit mindful of that as well, because of course, even though they had feelings for you for a very long time, you don't want to get caught up in someone's rebound energy. You're not just there to offer solace to a person. Of course, it's nice for you to be a friend to that person and offer a shoulder to cry on, but you deserve, you know, a romantic, passionate relationship without their baggage, you know, infiltrating the relationship. Allow time for that person to grieve that, and also, you know, be ready for a new relationship. Okay, that's coming through there as well. Now, Six of Cups is an energy of something being offered to you that I feel like you have been wanting for a long time, but it always felt like it was going back and forth, nearly there, not quite, but now it's happening for you. And I'm quite excited about that Six of Cups there for you as well. I also see here, yeah, I am being given this energy of a friend that you feel like you are kind of detaching from. This person, I feel like you go way back with this person, and they may actually be keeping a little secret from you. I mean, I'm going to pull a quick card on that, because I feel this person, personally, they're going through something themselves. But we got the Nine of Cups, the Devil, and the Knight of Pentacles. I do feel a little bit jealousy here. I do feel someone kind of looking at you like, oh, you got everything you wish for, or you got all the success. From the outside looking in, that's how it appears to them. Of course, you are kind of like going through a lot of stuff yourself, my beautiful Capricorn, and you may feel like you haven't got exactly what you want. You're working on your goals and your dreams, because this is what you're wishing for. And the Devil card is like you're prioritizing your own needs. You know, you are like tunnel vision. You are being very disciplined with your time. So they may feel in your, you know, strive for success, they feel left out in some way. That's what's coming through there. But it could be a little bit of a misunderstanding between both of you as well, because I feel there's a distance. For some of you, this could also be a partner. If you've been going through some challenging times with a partner, it can be that both of you are coming from various angles where both of you feel like you are not hearing each other, or there's an energy of feeling left out in some way. You will have a very honest, exposing conversation this month that will see both of you kind of try to repair because this is a repair card right there, repair the union in some way. You'll go back and forth on the same point for a while, but actually you will be able to resolve this relationship is what I see there. Same with the friendship. I feel like you're growing apart, but you can repair it, but there needs to be an honest, open conversation there as well. I mean, I feel this is you prioritizing your own needs with that Devil card. You know, the Devil card is not an evil card. It can highlight where you're feeling stuck and where you need to break through, you know, but also it can highlight that, you know, you are connecting to your passions. You're leading forward to connect to your desires in life. What makes you happy? You know, what is that missing ingredient? And the Knight of Pentacles indicates you're working hard for it. You are someone who's proceeding with integrity. You know, you have the stamina to move through this challenging time to get your goals and dreams. This is a wish delivered to you. And I feel that, you know, there is someone here who kind of like doesn't resent your success, but wishes it could have been them. So just watch out for that. So I feel a lot of you, power moves in silence. If you think about the lion really does not announce their presence. They just appear and then pounce. Okay, so it could be that you're watching and waiting for a long time for an opportunity, and then suddenly you pounce and you accomplish it. Eight of Pentacles is you building for your future. This is a card that indicates that your future self will thank you for anything that you're doing this month. You know, especially financially, I feel there's a payoff for you. Something that you're strategizing or doing now or sacrificing all of this time, energy in order to focus on something will pay off in your future because you're building towards something. Of course, a lot of you, there is a new strategy here, but also it can be that you're gaining new knowledge, learning new skill or craft in order to, you know, connect to your goals or develop things, because I feel things are in development this month and you may be keeping things close to your chest, or you may hear some news that you're not going to tell anybody until it's finalized, until it's done, is what I'm seeing there. And of course, Eight of Pentacles, you're working really hard. Now, it also means like a new opportunity coming on in. So if you are looking for a job or a role, there is one coming in there for you. But I feel a lot of you could be focused on repairing things within yourself. So it can be that you're physically training for something, or you're connecting to a certain diet or exercise routine in order to get back on track on your health goals. Any pentacle cards are always connected to, you know, health, and 8 is the number of the self. So I definitely see here, if you have been feeling a little bit under the weather or a little bit off kilter there, this is you taking some time out for you to repair. You'll be back and forth on that, but I definitely see that, you know, you'll be back to best there in no time. And also, I feel this is, you know, rewards for your hard work. This is something coming on in here that you accomplish yourself. And I feel there's this energy of you cultivating positive habits and mindsets, because this is a habit card. This is about repetitive or routine kind of things that you're committed to, as it were. So if you basically want success in any area of your life, maintaining, sustaining, showing up for yourself, that's what it's all about. So I feel like you're sustaining, gaining momentum, but, you know, you have to show up for yourself. And I feel like that's what you're doing this month. In terms of your finances, Eight of Pentacles indicates, you know, working hard for a large purchase, or, you know, saving for your repayment plans, taking down debt, especially if you've got a mortgage or higher purchase on something, but also having a little bit of savings. So you may be thinking about 401ks, pension plans, that sort of thing. If you're retired already, I do see that some of you, you know, you may feel a little bit out of balance with the time frame, especially if, you know, you're the person who's retired and your friends haven't quite retired yet, or your family haven't quite retired yet. So you may feel like, you know, it's almost like retirement, you're finding new people, new things to do, but then suddenly one of your friends or your family members may actually retire this month and kind of join you or talk about it and give you kind of like a date where they're going to retire too. And you may set an intention to go traveling with each other. That's coming through there. Or even like some sort of interesting hobby that you'll share together, because I'm seeing a lot of sharing energy. Of course, your ninth house, for some of you, it could be that you're taking a long journey in some way. And you may even have a tarot reading booked, and that's going to give you a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight, and someone from beyond the veil is actually going to come into that reading if you're going to a medium or a psychic, okay? So getting some final cards here for you. I'm loving the energy. Yeah. You've got intention. So I see it here. You're starting a new phase, or there's a new intention here. You're sticking to it. You have a lot of wisdom. You're committed to change. So whether it's breaking through a cycle or a bad habit, or you've been enabling someone's behavior, I feel this is about you kind of like dominating your energy and moving towards something that will benefit your future. So we have number 57 there. Okay, that's intention. So it says here, the time has come for you to deepen your spiritual connection with yourself, awaken your truth within, and delve into the depths of your being. The intentions you set when rooted in love and guided by the universe will break through any obstacle that stands in your way. So when you love what you do, when you're passionate about what you do, nothing will get in your way. Yes, sometimes it's hard, but I feel like you will have a gear shift or a breakthrough this month where things get a little bit easier there. Now we also have wisdom. Number 9, that's hermit energy, connects to your 9th house there as well. So lots of spiritual downloads, lots of knowledge. But it says here, you have gained sufficient experience to take charge of your destiny. Take a moment to tap into the wisdom within and trust the guidance of your inner compass. Your perceived failures and past missteps have fine-tuned your rhythm and built the strength you need to set yourself free. Oh my gosh, this card literally connects to all of that. So I always say there's no mistakes or missteps. You just learn, okay? You learn how to do it another way next time. That's important. You know, if you think about the greatest minds of our time, they didn't just wake up one morning and know how to create electricity or a light bulb. They refined their process. And I felt at the beginning there that some of you feel like you've hit a certain level or plateau in your current circumstances. And you may feel that, you know, there has been some perceived failures or missteps in your past, but that's in your past because now you're rebuilding or you're building for your future here, and you have the strength you need to set yourself free. And that's releasing the pressure. It's believing in yourself, showing up for yourself, and the universe is offering you something here this month as well to make it happen. And we've got number 5 there as well. These numbers may be of relevance for you over the next coming days as well. It says your life has a master plan that is constantly evolving. Fill it with adventure focused on new experiences rather than material things. By exploring new territories, we challenge ourselves to see the world with fresh eyes and open minds. The expansion of your heart and soul is what truly matters. And again, that encompasses all of your reading. You know, I saw like a GPS system, so it's all about your direction. It's about the path. It's about the guidance system, the inner guidance system there as well. And we've got 555. And it says here, change. A transformative change is on the horizon. This new turning point in your life is divinely guided and inspired. During this spiritual journey, it is important to maintain a positive and grounded outlook and let go of old habits and beliefs that no longer serve you. That was your whole reading. This could be the dawn of a whole new you. And I really feel it is. This is a great month for you to lead, move ahead, and make that breakthrough. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Oh, we've got a rune here, and I'm excited because this is home rune. So this could be coming home to self, but also property. It could be some changes in your home space there. You may be doing some decluttering, or it could even be that you're changing where you live, where you dwell there. When you get this rune, this is about the mountain to climb. So even though you may be at the start of something that is going to be super successful and really exciting, you may feel like you have a long way to go. But I feel putting one foot in front of the other means you're kind of already halfway there because you're showing up for yourself and you're believing in yourself there as well. This literally means that you will get to the top of that mountain, or you'll get to the top of that promotion, or on top of your health, or on top of success, on top of money, whatever it is. you're going to the top, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you, my beautiful Capricorn. Now, if you would like to enter a competition to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to a candle, just write the word candle and my guides will bring me to 1 subscriber to win that free personal reading, and I'll announce the winner at the end of September. So thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn. Enjoy your September and love and light.